Anyway, so who is excited for our first speaker? Who do you think it is, by the way? Who do you think our first speaker is? Come on, put it in the chat box. Who do you think it is? Sam Altman? Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Oh, come on, guys. Okay. Elon Musk. Yeah. Absolutely. So our first speaker of the day is no one but Yuen. Currently, she's the Group Chief Merchandise and Marketing Officer of AEON Group in Malaysia. She's got over 20 years of experience in media, corporate strategy, and social advocacy. She's currently independent non-executive director on GDEX, Berhad, and OCK, founder of Women, a nonprofit empowering women and girls, former director of marketing and communications for Carrefour Malaysia and Singapore, former executive director of GEMA, multiple award winner, advocate for social impact and innovation. And there is so much that she's achieved in her life. And the interesting part is, you know how people say there is a triangle, right? Money, impact, and passion. You can usually focus on only one of them and excel at one, at most two. But she not only tried, but excelled at all three. So we want to hear from her today, see her story. I know it's going to be short, but trust me, it's going to be very impactful. And essentially, her schedule is super packed right now. So I really appreciate for allocating some time for this event. Okay, before we go, guys, come on. I'm not gonna like put her on stage if I don't see enough enthusiasm from you guys. Come on, show me something. Show me
Yuen, hi.
reactions. Drop it in the chat box. Scream. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Just
Can we
oh
unmute and clap?
Yay!
Yeah, Yuen, come on. Yeah, come on.
Yes.
Woo!
yes.
Hey, Yuen.
Awesome work, everyone.
Okay, Yuan, do you think that's acceptable? That is exciting enough or not
No,
yet?
absolutely. I'm already embarrassed that I'm late, but so that I have to step out for a while. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So, Yuan, let me put you on the. Actually, no, before I put you on the stage, let me. Okay, I'm gonna pin you here. I'm gonna. Okay, you all should be able to see the slide, and you went very big in the middle of your screen right now. Okay, there. So just now I was talking about money, impact, and passion, right? How this very difficult triangle is hard to really, excel at. Usually some people focus on only one aspect or maximum two, but Yuan is the one who not just achieved but excelled at all three with all sorts of stuff. So Yuan, just now we did an introduction for you. I'm not gonna repeat that. Everybody knows you already, even before the event. You're so famous. So I think we can just straight away jump to you, and the stage is yours.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm just gonna share my slides because I thought, we should share slides. Let me just so that you're not just looking at my face. Oh,
Yeah.
screen sharing. There's an error that's occurred. Let me try again. One more time. Share. No, I can't share. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you my story then. So when it comes to the three things, I actually think it is definitely passion first, and then impact, and then the money will follow. Now, I feel that while the only out of three things between passion, impact, and money, the most important thing is to understand what you are good at of these three, and then just focus on it because that's something that you have the most control over. And I always ask myself this question. It's on a daily basis. Okay, this is a daily basis question. The question is, what am I doing today that I am growing my passion, or that I'm growing the impact of the things that I'm doing, or I'm growing the ways I'm going to make money to fund what I'm doing, perhaps, but to also do more things that I wanted to do. For example, well, it has to be funded anyway. So you kind of need to do on a daily basis something actionable that's going to move whatever you want forward. So that's what I do, like on a daily basis. After, in addition to that, let me just make my own screen smaller. Let me just go into this. Okay, that's easier to see. The other question that I always ask myself is, that I always remind myself is that hell is the place when you meet the person you could have been. For me, that is really a reminder that if you didn't achieve your maximum potential, you will really be unhappy when you go. So, and I don't want that. So every single year when I review my time, I always ask if I have, if I have moved toward being someone I want to be. And then it gives me a lot of revelation about myself, and I keep pushing myself very hard. And I feel like you have to be your biggest whipper. You have to be your biggest cheerleader. So that's how I've always been doing it. And my last question has always been grounded by my 4 children. And I always wonder, what I'm doing today, is this something that I deliberately do so that I am leaving them a good example of what they can be as well? So if that's constantly in my mind, then I think, I should be in a safe space to continuously do good and do well. I think for me, constantly reframing things is also very important. I think sometimes when you're stuck, perhaps, you need to take a refresher and think, maybe there needs to be a different question to this. Maybe I'm not asking the right question. If, for example, the situation is that I don't have time to do so many things, perhaps the question can be, maybe the key here is not time. Maybe the key that you're supposed to really look at doing a lot of things is in how you delegate better, how you build a better team, how you get people to understand what you want to do. And I always feel that once you have, you're asking yourself those questions and you suddenly feel more inclination towards something. So for example, I feel like, hey, if I want to do so many things, I can't possibly do it. What do? What about building good teammates? What about, going around and find people who would want to join you in doing what you were doing for that particular bit? And then you just rally and co-op everyone. Use your energy to do that, but then they get to do the job. So I'm very lucky for all the NGOs that I'm running, the positions that I have, the projects that I'm working on. I was always able to co-op a lot of people to be really interested to do what I'm doing. And also because it's really at the end when you're doing it, it's not so much whose idea, it's more everyone is doing it together, and that ownership is everyone's. It's definitely, I don't have this thing about, oh, I did that. That's really not important to me. And that to me was some of the efforts you need to put in to make sure that it's actually being nurtured. So it's not enough to say, oh, I don't care if I own this project or not. But it is more important to show that you actually don't, by making sure that the teammates understand that they own it. And this needs to be a daily process. What do you say? What do you do? How do you check in? How do you whip? How do you make sure? How do you follow up? So those are the things that actually you constantly need to work at. Now, of course, it's never just rosy and easy, right? We're kidding if we tell ourselves that even though I'm quite, I think I'm quite thankful that I feel that I'm grateful and I am privileged. Privilege here means that I have access to opportunities, I have access to people, I have access to new ideas, which perhaps maybe it's not accessible to everyone the same way. But I also think that's because we work at making sure that it's accessible to us too. So ask the right questions. I think that's kind of really important to make things happen. And I feel that if you are in a position of being in a team and you take on leadership, the idea here is not leadership in everything, but it can be leadership in small bits and pieces, but you really put in 110. And when you do that, you learn so much more than you actually give. I think the amount of stuff that you are actually able to take is embarrassing sometimes, that I feel like I'm not giving enough. I want to give more. And because you want to give so much more, you end up really attracting the right people who would do things with you, and you're doing their things, you're contributing to what they're doing, and vice versa, and voila. So I'm really, I feel extremely privileged to always have the opportunity to work with people, to have really supportive ecosystem to what I wish that I can do. So that's really, so I have been very lucky to be involved in things from I was a graduate in science, right? So then I have been very lucky to be able to jump from science to media, in front and behind the television, the film. I have also been able to do a lot of radio, and then I was able to do theater, and then I could go into corporate world, and that was actually, is it by chance? A lot of people like to ask me that. How can your background be in a corporate situation where you are the chief officer or the director? And I'm like, it's really because I said yes. When I was very young, like 7 years old, I think I said to myself, hey, I don't know if I should say yes. And then I was like, maybe that's not the right question. Maybe the right question is, why, what is the reason why I should ever say no? And then most of the time I will realize that, hey, there's actually no reason why I will say no. And therefore, my answer to everything is always yes, which is also the reason why I'm here, Alish, is because you asked and I'm like, yes, let's do it. Even though my team will tell me, you got 5 more things. Yeah, but it's true the night. I can do it. So here I am. That's all I have to share, I think. Yes. Of course, if there's a deck, then you could see pictures and stuff, but I can't play it for you. So Alish, that's me.
Thank you very much, Yuen. Actually, is there an issue with the screen share? I know it's a bit too late, but I just wanted to check. Is it like a access issue? If there's anything you want to share, like for the that you think it would be best if it is displayed on the screen? Because I
I'm
think you should have
trying.
access. I double checked.
Can you see it now? Can you see the slide now? Could you?
I cannot see any screen now.
Yeah, exactly. So this message keeps popping up. It says can't share your screen, an error has occurred.
Okay, never mind then. Okay.
So
Anyway,
you
thank
just
you, Yuen.
look at my big head and just hopefully you're infected.
Beautiful, beautiful face we see, and with a gorgeous smile. Don't you guys
It's so
agree? Isn't
funny.
your smile like very beautiful? Okay. Do you guys have any questions for her? We can maybe take 2 questions, if any. Either you can unmute yourself and ask it right away, or you can type it. But I think it would be best if you just unmute yourself.
And if
I'll
you
put
don't
you
have
on
a
this.
question, maybe you could donate 2 hours of your time and watch my film on Netflix.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
I take this very seriously. So it's a social commentary. It's a social humanity film. I don't know if it's across all Netflix regions, but definitely in Malaysia. So if you do visit Malaysia, please check it out. And the idea of the film is really about how the city is looking at homeless people and the kind of dignity that homeless people have and that we often overlook. I took a long time to fight for this film to be on Netflix because Netflix told me, hey, we're only looking for films where, some buildings blow up or there's like a ghost. And your film has none of that. I said, no, but my film has a lot of empathy and it's going to be a narrative that's going to be discussed again and again in many years down the road about what's happening today. And but it took a long time. I think it took like a year before they agreed to watch it. And when they watch it, they're like, okay, we'll put this on. So I welcome everyone to watch it. I want to say your 2 hours of watching it, I owe you. I owe you. The film's name is called Orang Itu, Orangitu, and it means that person. The English name, I think Netflix put it as The Outsider. But that's another Hollywood thing. But anyway, it's The Outsider. Orang itu.
I think the problem in Malaysian in film industry, they're all interested in make money. This from the screenwriter aspects.
They're trying to make money.
Yeah, they are trying to make money.
I want to tell you, in Malaysia, money making from film is a very difficult thing to do.
Yes,
This is a conversation that can take days, I just want to say.
that's why I left it. I decided to focus more on business.
No, don't leave it because of somebody else or some industries, irregularities or because they're not good. You want to do it because you have stories to tell. That's the most important part.
Storytelling.
My storytelling is more on empathy.
That's the whole
Okay,
point.
we
If
have
you're a
question here.
storyteller, you just got to make sure you keep at it because that's your gift to the world. That's it.
Yeah.
Period. Okay, finish.
And
I used to
everybody has
see
a
her
different
as a
story.
kid, you know?
Everyone should know about people's story and how do
Yeah.
they make it.
I agree.
I agree.
Sorry, Ning Kui,
Go, Charmaine.
I can't remember. You used to act in one show on TV3, right? With the two other girls. I can't remember.
I am a host.
Oh, okay. I was too young. I used to see the show. There, I
Yeah,
forgot.
baby right. It's called
Yeah,
3R. It's a
come on.
women
Actually, yeah.
empowerment program.
She's also very
Yeah, yeah.
young. You know, she's only 21, right?
Who?
Wow.
21
you
plus
are.
Allah.
My daughter is 20. Well
Oh, okay.
done.
I'm
Your
31
daughter
now.
is 20. My son is 9.
I'm that old.
Oh,
See?
okay, we have two questions here. One is from Louise. Uh, the question is startup versus corporate career. What's your take?
I want to say it's very different, and I want to be able to encourage, if you're in the position to do both, please do it. Because on one end, it's extremely fulfilling. On the other, there are things that about governance and about structure and process that you will never understand as a startup entrepreneur. You will never get it. But when you use the governance and the structure and the format and the process from a corporate space and you inject that into your entrepreneurship and also your startup environment, I tell you, it's magic. So there are really amazing crossovers. And I want to really say, never, ever get into any political rubbish at the office or whatever. It's not worth it. Not worth your time, not worth it. Just don't care. Don't care. And no need to repeat, no need to say again, don't care. And then just be really who you are, be really positive about stuff, and just go do other things. So it's like a farmer, right? If you have a plot of land, you're not going to just plant one thing. So for me, I always want to plant like a lot of stuff. So that when I'm planting this, I'll be like, I'm planting that, and then, oh, this didn't work. Okay, I'm going to, maybe change the seed or maybe water it differently or maybe change this. And then, oh, that's something else that's happening. So you're never down or you're never thinking that one thing's a failure. So you're always just, grooming as much things as possible.
Yeah, I agree with you because I'm also from the corporate industry to the startup, and it would be much different. And then what I'm follow the lead, my company now is become bigger and expanded to the US and also Taiwan. It's lots of things that positive happen when we put some effort from the corporate world to the startup. Welcome. Yeah.
Well done, Lisa. Well done. Sorry, my
Awesome. We have another question here from Arif. He's asking, what is content for you?
What is content to me? I think that question will differ from person to person. I like content that engage. I like content that make an impact. So I want to put out, whenever I put out something, even if I'm just speaking, it needs to be, I'm not doing this because of me alone. I need to do this. Not for art's sake type. But I want to do this because I have something to say and it's got to be meaningful to the audience. So if I'm taking your 2 hours, I want to make sure at the end of the 2 hours, you're going to feel like, okay, I got something out of this. And if you didn't, I actually will feel really bad. And I will repay your 2 hours with 10, okay? Or 24, it's okay. But yeah, because I'm taking something from you. So I want to be able to make sure that whatever I'm putting out is worth it. So I don't go into, let's say, making a film or a theater show or something like overnight and just, okay, this is how I want to express and then just do it, right? But I really care about how the audience will relate to what I'm doing. It's not about how, oh, it's a great film. It is about, oh, it made me think about that. I think that I really, really appreciate.
Can I ask a follow-up question? I attended one of the events last year by KSI, and you were one of the speakers. You were mentioning there's a collaboration that you wanted AEON to get more retailers to join, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Which
okay.
event is this?
KSI with Tan Sri Michael.
Okay. Yes. So the idea is in about I always feel that well, if you're an SME or if you're a small farmer or something, and you feel like when you look at AEON it's really big, and you feel like, oh, we're not accessible, you cannot reach us. I just want to say those fears are super groundless. It's really easy to reach out. And you just need to state what you want to do with us. You have to just be clear so that we are like, I get it. I know how to do this with you. Even if it's just the first step, I already know what to do with you. That's what I was requesting everybody to do.
All right.
Okay, because the event was cut short because I wanted to find you during the event, but I forgot about it. I think you left.
Okay.
Because it was quite interesting because we have so many business SMEs, and many of them don't know how to get into the marketplace. So I actually wanted to do a follow-up interview with you.
Okay, come,
thank
Joe, do it.
You know her LinkedIn?
Yes, I
Reach
do.
out. Come on.
I do.
I follow
Okay,
your
thank you very
Instagram.
much. I think we don't have more time for the Q&A, but let me share my screen again because you are gonna love this. You can see my screen, right?
No.
Ta-da. If you want a free mentoring session with her, you want to talk to her, you want to invite her for an interview, you can just do that via the platform I mentioned earlier. Feel free to do that. This is actually already happening, even if you don't take your own initiative to request her for a mentoring. This is already arranged with her. We've already arranged about a 1 hour session sometime in July. So if you would like to be a part of it and ask her questions, specific questions, she's gonna be there with decades of experience to answer you, to help you, to guide you. So if uh, you want that, just do that. Okay, thank you, Yuan. Thank you so much for being with us, for sharing your insights and answering questions. And I know there's so much more you could talk about. Unfortunately, the time is short. However, as discussed previously, we're gonna interview you besides this mentoring session. So more of you guys. Okay, I also send you guys some hearts too. Maybe you guys can help too. Those whose camera are on, you can just some. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. Yes. Then we're gonna have mentoring session with her, and we're gonna have an interview with her. So two things are coming up in the next couple of weeks. Stay tuned, and this is only open to those who are in the platform. Now, I'm gonna introduce our next speaker.